Okay, we are live. Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's Lunch Hour Live. Thank you so much for tuning in. I am here with the amazing Josie LoPorto Freeborn, who is a beautiful member of our collective. Josie runs our branch in Windsor, Ontario. She is also a holistic healthcare practitioner, an essential oils educator with doTERRA, and she's here today to talk to us about simple and easy ways to de-stress. And Lord knows we all need it. So I'm before we jump into conversation with Josie, I'm just going to let you, Josie, take it away and share a little bit about yourself and tell us your story and how you got into this world of wellness. Sorry, Josie. 1 second here. Because apparently they can't hear or see you. Okay, let's see if that's better.
Oh, oh yeah, okay.
Sorry
Sorry.
about that. That's okay.
No.
I'm waiting on a comment to see if they can see or hear you now.
Okay. Was I supposed to do something on my end?
No.
Oh, okay.
There's the back end here. They have a new platform, and so okay, now she
Oh,
can. All right. So
okay.
let's start again, and yeah, share a little bit about yourself, starting now.
All right, I shall start. Well, I am a holistic healthcare practitioner and an essential oil educator, as you said. I've worn many hats over the years in this field. I started in 2004 as a reflexology healthcare practitioner at the urging of my sister, who was a Reiki practitioner and a holistic nutritionist. And I didn't have any idea of what this field entailed, but I knew I was working highly effectively in my sales career, but I was also getting very burnt out. And I was looking for something to give me a different venue of career opportunity. So fast forward now many years ahead, back when reflexology was first starting in 2004 to where we're at now, with more of the people being aware of what these holistic healthcare modalities are and how they can help with stress relief and even physical, mental health and wellness. It all goes together. So I joined the essential oil world in 2005. So it's almost 5 years in May, when I had a personal experience with a need of managing my stress levels, managing my anxiety. The feelings that I had shortly after my second child was born were debilitating, so much so where I couldn't get out of bed. So I knew there was a problem that needed addressing. And although I was very active in the holistic healthcare world, you know, the saying, a painter's house is never painted. And that
Right.
that was me. So I really needed to look into other modalities, other ways to take care of myself. So my sister brought me a bottle of lavender oil from doTERRA, and I didn't know about the company. I didn't know anything about. I knew a little bit about essential oils because I use them in my practice as a reflexology practitioner. I also wear a hat as an esthetician, and when I became educated in the holistic world, encompassing the mind, the body, the spirit, all aspects of a person's life, not just what we put in it and this body part, but how we live our lives, I became more interested in learning how everything could work together. So when my sister brought me this bottle of lavender, she had indicated that it would help me with these anxious feelings that I was having that were debilitating me. And so I began learning. Needless to say, that was 5 years ago, and I'm still very active with my essential oil. So there was some good benefits there. My story is a little bit lengthy to go into detail here, but needless to say, it helped me be able to get out of bed with a newborn and an 18-month-old. I learned more about how to manage my own feelings through things that we're going to talk about today. And I mean, there's many, many things to do, but I'd like to share some of the tidbits of information of how a person can manage to eliminate or minimize those stressful and what ultimately leads to either anxious or other debilitating feelings.
Awesome. Wow, what a story. And it all started with one bottle of oil. Like, it's so interesting how things snowball from a simple gesture from someone, right? So it's really interesting. Like I always say, just listen to those little clues, right? And if someone dropped off an oil to you and that changed your life forever, obviously it snowballed into all these other things. How amazing is that? So fabulous. So tell us a little bit more. You're talking about some tidbits. So did you want to just jump into those tidbits? And
Sure.
then maybe we can talk about, the different ways in which they help. Yeah, go ahead.
For sure, for sure. As you were saying, I was very, I became open to the idea of learning more about essential oils and how they can affect me in a health method rather than me just using them in a reflexology point. Although I was educated a little bit in essential oils, I didn't know much about how to use them health-wise. And so by using that little bottle of lavender, I began to realize that as well as other essential oils can help with those stressful feelings by doing different activities along with them. So obviously essential oils is one of my tidbits of information. That is what I suggest anybody try to be open to learning about the proper use though of essential oils. Don't just go and buy something off the shelf. When I first started, that's what I did. I purchased off the shelf and unfortunately they didn't have the same effect. If anything, I got a headache, which exacerbated those yucky feelings that I was having. Like, oh God, now I'm sick and dying, but I wasn't. Right. So the first thing, if you are going to entertain the idea of using essential oils, please talk to somebody like myself, who is an essential oil educator, and we have the knowledge and experience. I'm not an aromatherapist, and I'm not a doctor. I'm not, in that aspect, but I have a lifetime of experience now to help people learn what oils can be used for different situations. An example, when I feel, I'm going to talk about my personal experience, when I feel that stress hitting me really hard right now, I reach for my bottle of Melissa. And, this, I put it here because I carry it with me. This is something that I can do so easily. And for you, it might be lavender, or it might be, we have one of my first, before I started with Melissa, was something called Balance. All I do is put a little drop of that into my hand, cup my hands over my nose, and do what the very first step should be in stress reduction is breathe. So I incorporate the essential oils with my breathing, and I inhale. And we have so many different ways of breathing. Square breathing, where you inhale to 4, hold for 4, exhale to 4, count to 4, inhale again. So that's our square. We're drawing a square with our breath. The other way is do pranayama, yogic style breathing. I don't know, Natalie, if you're familiar with that, where you do your alternate nostril breathing, where you inhale and then you retain, and then you exhale from the other nostril. And then you finally, after a cycle of that, you have a different feeling through the left and right side of your body. That's also another method that you can use. But to keep it super simple, when that stressful feeling comes on, I reach for the oil and I just inhale and then release. The key to the breathing is getting a deep diaphragmatic breath, not a shallow breath. We go through our days just breathing shallowly. You can see it in children when they learn how to breathe. When you're watching a baby breathe, they breathe from their belly. They are already instinctively diaphragmatic breathing. And as we grow older, we tend to just take the fast sips of air. And that's fine. But when you're in a stressful period, the very first thing, if you don't have essential oils, that's fine. Talk to me, we can hook you up. But the biggest thing you want to do is stop in that moment. If you're going to yell at your kids, or you're feeling stressed like you're going to cry. Again, personally, I cry. I feel that tension that I'm going to cry. I just stop and I breathe. It's easy. It doesn't cost anything. You can do it anywhere. Nobody's going to look at you like, what is she doing? Yeah. You're breathing deeply though. You're getting the air, and I visualize my oxygen coming in through my nose, going down, and I say it in my head almost like a meditation. I'm breathing the air through my nose It's going down my throat, into my lungs, circling my lungs. My belly is expanding and then contracting, and I'm breathing out all the yuck. So I'm breathing in the good, and I'm exhaling through my nose all the toxic thoughts, the yucky things that aren't serving me. So the breath, and then the essential oils, or that's 1 and 2 actually that I had written down. I had 5 steps that are simple.
Yeah.
Those are the first 2. The next one would be getting into your physical activity. When you're in that moment, if you can't go to the gym, that's okay. If you can't get into a downward dog position, that's okay. Back 5 years ago, when I had that debilitating anxious feelings after my son was born, believe it or not, a smell of lavender and a downward dog was enough to get me feeling better, where I could actually get that motivation to move a little bit more rather than stay in bed all day. So if you don't like yoga, that's fine. Just run on the spot. Do jumping jacks. Get silly. I'm going to show you something you're going to laugh at a little bit. I just came back just before our meeting here, teaching 3 and 4-year-olds a little bit of yoga. And one of the things that we did with their yoga was it's a yoga breath, but it's funny and they love it and they laugh and it makes you feel silly, is to actually breathe like a snake, where you take a deep breath in and then you go, like, how crazy is that? But it feels good. That gets the heart not stopping, but the heart moving in a way that's not now feeling like you're having those palpitations, right?
Yeah.
So doing some kind of silly physical activity, put on a song. Many of us have, I won't say her name because it will go on, but the Alexa or the Google, you can say, hey, play a silly song and just jump up and down. Seriously, it takes all of 30 seconds, 10 seconds. It will get you out of that stressful feeling. The other thing you can do in that physical activity part, and I learned this actually from a naturopathic doctor, was to hum. So it stimulates your vagus nerve. And so by humming, I'm not a great hummer, but it feels good when you go, or whatever, make up a song in your head and hum to it. So that's part of getting that physical change in your body that you need when your body's going through that stressful period, when it's I don't know how sciencey everybody here is. I like to look at the expression of cortisol when that comes out when we're stressed. And so we want to try to minimize that. So by changing the way our bodies respond to that cortisol can become then a lifestyle habit that we do anytime we have even the inkling of that trigger coming on with stress. The next 2 things are eating well. Now, I'm not a registered holistic nutritionist, but I have a professional network of individuals who I trust, and I kind of farm out. If I have a client of mine who needs that information, I have some knowledge, but if it's very deep, I need them to have some professional advice. I will recommend some of the members actually are in this group too. But eating well, a whole foods diet, very, very important. I am not one to say you have to be vegan, you have to be vegetarian, you have to eat meat, you have to eat that. But I am about not having stressful eating habits, because the idea of what to eat sometimes puts stress on people. I need to eat this and I don't need to eat that. That causes stress alone. Not that you're going to say, well, eating McDonald's makes me feel happy. That's not necessarily the best thing to do. So if you're not sure how to eat well, reach out to one of us practitioners, one of the people who kind of have some professional network where we can guide you to somebody to help you with your eating habits. And the other thing is sleep. Getting a good quality sleep. Believe it or not, we think as adults 5 to 6 hours is enough. In reality, we're suggesting to have 8 to 9 hours of solid sleep. And that doesn't mean 8 to 9 hours of 3 hours sleep in the afternoon and 3 hours sleep at night and 3 hours of sleep. It's meant to be consecutive. So I don't know if you have any questions on that. Those are my 5 tidbits. There's many more, but that's what I do.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Well, I love it. And it's, they're like common sense, right? Like for health, like general health and wellness. But the fact that you can like lay it all out there for us to know that these things are actually causing stress. I don't think that a lot of people maybe think about the fact that maybe they're tired because they didn't get enough sleep, but why are they stressed, right? And so I really love that you just laid it all out there. And one of the biggest things for me is the breath piece, right? Like I love that you share that because there are sometimes days where I know that I've been breathing shallow all day, right? And I have not like taken that deep breath. So just when you said that right now, I took this deep breath and I was like, oh, instantly, like my shoulders went down and I just felt completely different. So yeah, thank you for this.
There's something else you guys can try at nighttime, because the biggest thing many people say is, I don't have time for all of this. We can find time. And I was just joking with, I was actually speaking to one of our members, Natalie Malia, on the phone this morning saying, I'm stressing. Oh my God, what do I do? And we had some discussion and I said, you know what's strange? We can do this. And pardon me for, I'm not going to be vulgar or anything, but when you go to the bathroom, typically as a parent, that's not the quiet place either. But when you are in the bathroom, it is someplace where you're not able to get up and do the dishes. You're not able to go and vacuum. You're not able to, I mean, you might wash out the sink or something, but when you're in that space where you're forced to sit for a minute, that's when you can do that breathing exercise. That's when you can do a visualization exercise, visualizing that breath coming in. Or at nighttime, when you are settling in for bed, proper sleep hygiene makes a huge difference in stress reduction. And we talk about sleep hygiene, not brushing your teeth, washing your face, but creating a bedtime routine. And if you lay in your bed and you take inventory of your body, close your eyes, do a deep breath in, breath out for 3 or 4 counts, and then visualize your toes relaxing, your feet relaxing, and say this. I'm not going to go through the whole body here because it takes a little bit of time, but my toes are relaxing. My toes and feet are relaxing. My toes and feet are relaxed. And then move up to your legs, your knees. You can go very detailed or very generic, but you can do that while you're relaxing to go to sleep. And that's a form of meditation. You don't have to sit here with, doing your mudras and breathing and meditating to actually get a meditation in. You can do it before you go to bed. And what that does is it makes your mind aware of your body in a non-active way, in a passive way. And you'll find most of the time you probably fall asleep or you're on the verge of falling asleep while you're getting up to your head point. My head is relaxing and out.
Yeah, love it. Love it. So, Josie, tell us how we can work with you. Where do we find more information on you? And how can people get in touch with you and work with you? And actually, how do you work with people? Yeah.
So I have a few different ways that I do work with people because my practice for reflexology is here in Windsor. If you want to come see me for a holistic facial or a reflexology session, or I do a couple essential oil applications, one being the aroma touch technique and another one being a very targeted, specific essential oil application of layering geared to specific health issues. Hands-on treatments, I do work here in Windsor out of a place called Fringe Theory. I have my sessions on Fridays that I book actively. And then my consultation times are during the rest of the week. And I can do online consultations either via Zoom. I do them via chat, either on Messenger or text, because many people are on the go even, and I realize that. So to sit with me for an hour and have a full wellness lifestyle consultation a week, I like to do that. But if you're not in my area, that's just not available, or you're too busy, we can do it actually via chat or messenger. So on Facebook or Instagram, I'm Oily Freeborn on Instagram. I do have Freeborn Wellness from the Earth, or Josie Freeborn's Wellness from the Earth. I have some Facebook pages that you can connect with me. Or if you have my phone number, I'm very open to giving that. I can connect by text because I realize that I have to be available to the people who can't meet in person.
Awesome. Just trying to show that on this. All right, there we go. So wellness lifestyle consultations with Oily Freeborn. And so you can find Josie on, like she said, Instagram and Facebook, and obviously in this group and through Happy Healthy Women. And if you're in Windsor, go see her in person and join her brand. She's got some events coming up for you as well. Josie, I want to thank you so much for being a part of this. And first of all, for being a part of our collective and sharing all of your knowledge and expertise on stress and how to de-stress. I think that I'm going to try my breathing today. I'm going to actually like be mindful of it. And I do have some doTERRA lavender essential oil as well. So I'm going to work with that. So thank you again so very much for all of your knowledge and expertise. And for those of you who feel like you need to have a chat with Josie, please do get in touch with her. And then I was also just going to share, if anyone, wants to be a part of this as well as Josie and our other leaders that you see on our Lunch Hour Lives every Tuesday, please do get in touch with us at happyhealthywomen.ca because there is always space for you to step into your leadership and promote your business and share your expertise. So thank you, Josie, for this time. Yeah, have a great day, everybody, and we'll see you very, very soon. Take care. Bye.